Today, I will be speaking about recent controversies over white actors playing characters of color and LGBTQ plus roles being taken by heterosexual and cisgendered actors, and whether or not it has resulted in a new awareness in Hollywood, and with that, more responsible casting. Whitewashing and forms of whitewashing, such as blackface, yellowface, etc., have been present in film and media since its inception. White people playing people of color has been normalized to such a degree that non white casts rock the media, for example, Black Panther or Crazy Rich Asians. More people of color being able to contribute to the production of films has obviously had an effect on how people of color are portrayed in the media, as well as an effect on how much and how often they are casted. As much as the film industry has improved with more inclusive and diverse writing rooms and colorblind casting, there is still much to address about why these shifts are being made and how. Hollywood is vastly still controlled by white, able bodied, cisgendered men. Becker, in his Primetime Television in the Gay 90s article, outlines how, yes, the media has changed, but for what reason? Becker argues that these new roles are less about addressing the systemic problems and more about commodification of token characters which make their woke audience feel better about the media they consume. In fact, many scholars agree that the industry is changing in order to maintain power and profit rather than challenging white supremacy. To a certain extent, regardless of intention, the fact stands that yes, casts are becoming more diverse and scripts are becoming more inclusive, but the way consumers are able to interpret and interact with the content is just as important. Critical media theory would say that simply filling a position with any person of color or writing storylines that propagate negative stereotypes about people of color, even if the plot focuses around them, is just as damaging as whitewashing. For example, many people criticize Naomi Scott, an Indian English actress chosen to play Princess Jasmine in the live-action musical of Aladdin, saying they should have cast an Arabian actress and called out the producers saying, "That's saying brown is brown." The producers of Aladdin and many other productions claim that they don't pay attention to color or ethnicity when casting to make it fair, calling it colorblind casting, but is much deeper than that, and is often with the intention of pleasing a larger audience. Moving forward, it will be important for educators to teach their students about how to critically look at and read media, to look at who is making it, what the motives are and intentions are, who that media is marketed to, etc. This type of thinking is important for everyone, as it teaches students to question the stereotypes that they see of others and of themselves as well. Because of the availability of more diverse film casts that have been created over the last decade, educators have resources for teaching students media literacy. People have been using their personal platforms like social media and boycotts to advocate not only for diversity, but for meaningful diversity, and we have already been able to see this push through social media affect TV and film. There is a new awareness in Hollywood about responsible casting, and because of its demand, it's becoming more lucrative to do the right thing, which means it will continue to happen for the time being. But what happens when the trend drops off? Although not applicable to film just yet, there are major moves being made to avoid whitewashing in theater. A theater company performing an author's work must first obtain the rights to play before applying for a public performance license from the publishing house or agent. Once the license is granted, the company must obtain written permission prior to making certain alterations to the script. As it stands right now, prohibitive alterations include cutting out profanity, combining characters, and even changing the gender of a character. But missing from this list is racial identity of the character. Major work is being done to have that changed. If these changes are to happen and it becomes impermissible by law to whitewash in theater works, I wonder how that will affect TV and film.